Vince Gilligan's Apple TV series Pluribus opens with a chilling mystery EC, a strange virus that spreads across the world, infecting almost everyone. From the very first moments, the show drops viewers right into a chain of events that hints at a larger catastrophe. The virus itself is strange because it doesn't kill people directly. It instead floods them with a permanent sense of happiness, bliss, and contentment, stripping them of deeper emotions. But the real intrigue lies in the protagonist, Carol, who remains completely immune, raising questions about why she alone can resist the infection and what it means for the future of humanity. The story begins with astronomers analyzing a mysterious signal that has traveled 600 light years through space. This isn't just any message. It's a Morse-coded sequence that, once decoded, turns out to be an RNA sequence. Scientists decide to study it by turning it into DNA and testing it on lab rats using a viral vector. One of these rats ends up biting a scientist after appearing dead, and this moment marks the start of what the series refers to as Patient Zero. From there, the virus begins its relentless march through humanity. Interestingly, the virus in Pluribus is not a traditional killer. It doesn't infect to harm the body. It attacks the mind and emotions. Those infected are enveloped in a constant state of happiness and contentment. While this might sound harmless or even pleasant at first, the consequences are catastrophic. The virus suppresses fear, anger, sadness, and other emotions necessary for survival. As a result, when society collapses under the strain of global chaos, millions die indirectly because people no longer respond appropriately to danger. The show paints a world that looks peaceful on the surface but is actually crumbling from within. The way the virus spreads is equally fascinating. Patient Zero infects her co-worker through a simple act, and from there, infection moves quickly from person to person via saliva. The series shows the infected actively participating in the spread. They take swabs of their saliva and store them, likely to distribute further or experiment with spreading the virus in different ways, including potentially contaminating water supplies or testing kits. The infected appear to act like a collective, almost like a hive, following a programmed goal of self-replication and expansion. Their hive mind makes them extremely coordinated and dangerous, capable of working together seamlessly to ensure the virus reaches every corner of the globe. Carol's immunity to the virus is one of the central mysteries of Pluribus. While the infected are all part of a hive mind, Carol retains her individuality. She is unaffected not because of genetics or biology in the usual sense, but because of her emotional state. In a world where everyone else is unnaturally happy, Carol's misery, pessimism, and anger act as a shield. Her negative emotions seem to counter the virus' influence, allowing her to remain fully human, thinking and feeling freely. This flips the traditional trope of the hero fighting evil. In Pluribus, it's the one with darker traits who stands against an overwhelmingly good force gone wrong. As the story develops, Carol discovers she isn't entirely alone in her immunity. There are 11 other people who, like her, resist the virus. she manages to meet a few of them, including Otganbayar, Siyume, Kusamayu, Laxmi, and Kumbha Diabate. However, the series shows that these other immune individuals are largely indifferent to humanity's collapse. Unlike Carol, they are content with the way the virus has transformed the world, making it difficult for her to convince them to join any kind of resistance. Despite this, Carol's relentless drive ensures that her narrative will remain focused on survival, resistance, and possibly a future confrontation with the infected. The show hints that some immune characters, especially Kumbha, will play pivotal roles later, suggesting that alliances and conflicts among the uninfected will shape the story moving forward. Carol's emotional state doesn't just protect her, it also interacts in unique ways with the infected. Even though she is immune, she seems connected to the hive mind on some level. Her emotional outbursts cause disruptions within the collective consciousness of the infected. When Carol expresses anger, frustration, or despair, the hive mind glitches, often causing the infected to suffer physical reactions or even die. This connection could become a strategic advantage for her, allowing Carol to manipulate, control, or even weaponize her emotions against the virus. Essentially, her resistance gives her power that could turn the tide in the battle between the infected and the uninfected. The show hints that Carol's ability to affect the infected could evolve further. If she learns to harness her connection to the hive mind, she could theoretically direct the infected to aid her in developing a cure or stopping the spread of the virus. On the other hand, if the virus somehow finds a way to infect her, she could exploit the same connection to neutralize the hive from within. This dual potential makes Carol a unique figure in Pluribus, one whose actions and decisions could have enormous consequences for the future of the series' world. The virus' ultimate impact on humanity in Pluribus raises thought-provoking questions. On the surface, the infection appears to create a utopia. Everyone is happy and free from emotional pain. But the series quickly shows that enforced happiness isn't sustainable and comes with deadly consequences. It strips people of their individuality, empathy, and critical thinking, ultimately leading to societal collapse. This exploration mirrors real-world philosophical and psychological debates about the role of emotions in human life and how essential the full spectrum of feelings is for survival, growth, and meaningful connections. Vince Gilligan's storytelling in Pluribus balances mystery with moral and emotional dilemmas. The series drops hints about the virus, origins, and mechanisms, while leaving many questions unanswered, allowing fans to theorize and discuss. The mysterious signal from space, the viral vector experiments on rats, and the gradual spread of the virus all contribute to a narrative that blends science fiction with psychological thriller elements. By keeping the virus full, nature ambiguous, the show challenges viewers to consider not just how the infection works, but why it works, and what it says about humanity's vulnerabilities. Carol's journey in Pluribus is particularly compelling because she isn't a typical hero. She is flawed, cynical, and deeply emotional, yet these traits make her the only person capable of resisting a global phenomenon that rewrites human behavior. Her immunity highlights a recurring theme in the series. Sometimes it's the negative traits, the sorrow, the anger, the doubt, that enable survival and resistance in a world dominated by overwhelming conformity. This emotional angle adds depth to her character and sets the stage for intense drama and moral conflict in future episodes. The interactions between Carol and the infected also suggest that emotions are a form of power in Pluribus. Happiness isn't just a feeling. It's a tool of control. The infected, bound by a hive mind, cannot experience individuality or conflict, which makes them predictable and, paradoxically, vulnerable to someone like Carol. This creates a dynamic where emotions themselves, particularly those that society often considers negative, become weapons. And human resilience is measured not by brute force, but by the strength of personal feeling. Looking ahead, Pluribus promises to explore how the virus shapes civilization and whether humanity can survive its consequences. Carol's efforts to rally the other immune individuals, confront the hive mind, and perhaps develop a cure suggest that the series will delve into themes of leadership, morality, and the value of human emotion. The stakes are high. One mistake could lead to further global catastrophe, but Carol's immunity provides hope that resistance is possible. In episodes 1 and 2, viewers get only a glimpse of this complex world, but the groundwork is laid for an epic exploration of human nature. The show's combination of sci-fi elements, psychological insight, and character-driven drama creates a rich narrative landscape. Carol's role as the sole immune protagonist offers a fresh twist on apocalyptic storytelling, where survival is less about fighting zombies or disasters and more about navigating the emotional consequences of an unstoppable virus. Ultimately, Pluribus is a meditation on happiness, control, and individuality. The virus forces the audience to question what it means to live a meaningful life. Is endless bliss worth the cost of free will and emotional depth? Carol's immunity shows that suffering, negativity, and emotional authenticity are not weaknesses. They are what make humans truly resilient. Her journey will likely explore the tension between maintaining humanity and confronting a force that seeks to erase it. Vince Gilligan's Pluribus combines suspense, emotional complexity, and high-concept science fiction to deliver a story that is as unsettling as it is compelling. The virus is not merely a plot device. It is a lens through which the series examines human psychology, ethics, and social dynamics. Carol stands out not just as a survivor, but as a symbol of the importance of emotional depth in a world that has been flattened into artificial bliss. Fans of the show will find themselves speculating endlessly about the virus' origin, its full effects, and the ultimate fate of the immune, making Pluribus a series that encourages both thought and discussion. As the story unfolds, it is clear that the virus in Pluribus is more than a biological threat. It represents the dangers of emotional uniformity and challenges the audience to consider the value of struggle, sadness, and individuality. Carol's immunity, her emotional connection to the infected, and her potential to weaponize her feelings set the stage for a series that is as psychologically intriguing as it is thrilling. Her fight against the happiness apocalypse is not just for survival, it is for the very essence of what it means to be human.